Well, welcome back to week 2 of college football, sports fans. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Missouri Valley Football Conference, not to be confused with the Missouri Valley Conference, which is a totally different thing. To sum it up as efficiently as possible, the Missouri Valley Conference is a NCAA Division I collegiate conference, but the football version of this conference is a little different in that there are some teams in the Missouri Valley that don't participate in the same Missouri Valley Football Conference. This is probably one of the most dominant college football conferences, especially in recent memory, with North Dakota State at last check winning like every title for the last 10 years. And even for those years that North Dakota State didn't win a championship game, we're going to see some other teams in this league that did win a championship or at least appeared in a title game. Let's go ahead and just get right into it. At number 12, this is what I'm going to say is the worst quote-unquote logo in this league, because it's not that bad. It's going to be Youngstown State. It's going to be home of the Penguins in Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown State here just unfortunately makes the mistake of being boring in this logo. I mean, it's a red Y, as in like, you know, why did they choose this as their main primary logo? When if we take a look at some of these logos that they've used in their history, I mean, there are so many better things to work with here than just a simple red Y. They are the home of the Penguins. That is one of the coolest names in athletics. Like, lean into that, Youngstown State. What are we doing? Focus on the Penguins. I don't care about this big stupid red Y. Just be the hell out of the Penguins. Lean into that. Be the Penguins.
So sorry to interrupt.
At number 11, we've got the Sycamores, Indiana State. They've modernized this logo compared to what they had historically. I do still like that they're using the outline of the state of Indiana with sycamores across the front, so they kept that same vibe, same colors and everything, but this modern version is really angular and jagged. I do like this word mark that I found that kind of keeps this updated vibe with the Indiana State and the state of Indiana. Beyond that, this just doesn't really do a whole lot for me. The outline of Indiana there, it's just too sharp and angular. It looks like a boot.
New boot goofing. Oh!
But I can't not talk about Indiana State without giving a shout out to Larry Bird and the greatest Sports Illustrated cover that mankind has ever seen. At number 10, we've got UNI, home of the Panthers, Northern Iowa. I'll be honest, I didn't even know this team existed until 2011 when Montana played them under the lights. It was like 0 degrees outside, and the big joke that my friends and I made that whole night, UNI won't make it to the next round. UNI weren't meant to be. UNI sucks. And yes, we were the funniest people in our dorm building. Thank you for asking. But this has to be like the wussiest, least intimidating Panther I've ever seen. It just has no real threat to it whatsoever. Let's move on, but let's first just appreciate some of these old logos here. Some of the best throwback logos that we're gonna look at. At number 9, we've got the Murray State Racers. A very fine logo, a very acceptable logo. I kind of see what they're going for here with like an M in the background and then a racer, because it's a team in Kentucky that's racing out of the M towards you, just right up in your face. I understand the gist, but I'm just not vibing with it. I think that this throwback logo did it a little better just because the color of the racer contrasts to that M in the background a little bit better than this modern version. I don't really feel the racer coming out. It's just mid. It's easier to just say that it's mid. Let's move on. North Dakota. Interesting history with this logo here. It got changed. I remember while I was still at the University of Montana with the word mark and then with the actual Sioux Native American character. I'm not at liberty to say whether their old logo was problematic or not. All I can say is that this logo for me right here, the current version of what we have, is fine. And I do like that the elements of this logo have both the mascot and the letters for the school with that green ND. I can't even speak right now. But honestly, that eagle just is doing so little for me. He really has like he does look a little tough, but he has no really discernible features. It's just kind of a white silhouetted eagle with a black eye. And so I think this could just be worked a little better. I would love to see just like a little bit more detail on that eagle, or maybe if we gave him a black outline just to make him pop out and stand out a little bit sharper from the green lettering. I think that could look a little bit nicer, but as it is, this doesn't bother me. It doesn't excite me. It belongs squarely right in the middle. And I'm gonna say the same thing about our next one here, the South Dakota Coyotes. You can kind of say similar energy to North Dakota in the sense that we have kind of like the mascot elements going on here. In this case, it's a paw for the coyote behind the lettering for the school. But I love the block lettering here on South Dakota. It really contrasts and pops out nicely from the paw behind it. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice. Like this top half was actually kind of tough for me to rank because there's so many great logos in this league, and this is no exception. Like this is really strong. Moving right along here to Missouri State University. Really love the symmetry that's going on with this one, as well as just the one color look that we have. There's a lot of emotion coming from him because there's a lot of like detailed lines and little pieces within the bear. Compare this to the expressionless just one-dimensional eagle that we saw. North Dakota's catching so many strays in this video for no reason. This bear is really expressive and he's really ferocious, and I'm about it. This college used to be called Southwestern Missouri State University, and their logo looked exactly like this one. So they haven't really changed this a lot throughout the years, and they haven't really needed to. Like, this is a strong logo. At number 5, we're taking a look at Western Illinois, not the Bulldogs. This team is known as the Leathernecks, which is a badass name. It's like the only school in college athletics that uses the Leathernecks as their athletic department name. There's probably an easier way for me to say that. But yeah, this is strong. What a banger logo. I mentioned in a previous video a meme that I saw that referenced when a team is named the Bulldogs, like you have this generic catch-all logo that like every team uses, but this one is so unique and so original, and it's just so different from any other team with the logo or name Bulldog. Because again, this isn't Bulldog, it's a Leatherneck, which is a term for someone in the United States Marine Corps, which is why for some of their older or even like alternative logos, we can see things like this or this over here that have these Marine Corps elements to it. It's a very unique relationship between the United States Marine Corps and Western Illinois University. I mean, it just slaps. This is such a strong logo. Starting to really get into the nitty gritty. A lot of these were really hard for me to decipher, but at number 4, I went with Illinois State, home of the Redbirds. The one word that's been sticking with me is tenacity for this bird. And I can't explain why. This just looks like a very tenacious, determined bird. It's the red pupil for me that's matching the rest of the bird. Like, that's really what's doing it. It's that eye that's kind of bringing the whole thing home. A lot of great detail, a lot of great motion, a lot of really nice like angles. And if you want to talk about like some of the best throwback logos too, like the logos they've used throughout their history are absolutely incredible. Like, there's not a single miss here. All of these just really hit the mark. And yeah, Illinois State, banger logo. Kicking things off with our top 3 here, I'm gonna give it to South Dakota State, home of the Jackrabbits. Now this just has a really, really sharp color combination with that blue and yellow. They're super crisp. They work so well with the white trim that's going on. And I'd be hard pressed to find a logo that had more energy or more motion to it than this Jackrabbit, who's just springing away, ready to just like hop into action basically. Like, he's going somewhere and he's getting there quickly. And also the expression that he's making, like he looks both tough and fierce, but he's also just a fun logo. And I like that they actually have like an original look for this now, because when I was finding old logos of them, I mean, it's just a carbon copy of Bugs Bunny. So it's nice to see that now they have their own unique identity for this Jackrabbit, and he's not just Bugs Bunny. He's an actual rabbit this time with his own brand, his own identity. He's not just Bugs Bunny now. This could have been at number 2 or even like potentially number 1 for me if it wasn't for that word mark. That's the only reason I gotta bring it down. As a primary logo, just get rid of Jackrabbits and this would be a lot stronger. At number 2, it's our goodest boy on this list. It's the Southern Illinois Salukis. So I didn't really know that a Saluki was a dog. I literally had to type in like, what is a Saluki? And I felt like an idiot. But it is in fact a dog, and it is actually a very derpy looking dog, if I'm being honest. He's very sleek and very like long, very long boy, but it's these ears that just adds just such a weird bizarreness to this dog. So first of all, I just love this choice of going with the Salukis. Very specific breed of dog to be your mascot. And this logo is amazing. It captures that kind of goofiness with the dog, like, you know, for the ears specifically. But honestly, this logo just does an exceptional job overall of just capturing the sleek beauty of a Saluki.
Yikes! But you're even more handsome now! And the crowd is in a frenzy!
If we take a look at this, compared to some of their older logos, you either kind of love or hate these, and I'm forced to love them. But what they have right now is by far the best example of what they could do with the name Saluki and the potential that it has to be either an incredible or a repulsive logo. And this current version, this logo that we're looking at right over my shoulder here, is beautiful. Great logo. Well, that just leaves us with one more college to talk about. And if you're keeping track at home, it's North Dakota State. I mean, this team already has like 70 trophies, so like, why wouldn't I just gift them another one? Here you go, North Dakota State. You got the best logo in the Missouri Valley Conference. But this does it the best as far as having both the team name and the actual mascot that the team represents baked right into one elemental piece for a logo, the NDSU and the Bison. This looks awesome. He's charging forward with that motion, with that energy. He's got that ferociousness. He looks really tough. He's fierce. This is aggressive. This is intimidating. There's a reason that teams don't want to play this team. So many, even like FBS schools don't want to play this team. Like, this logo is, it's intimidating, man. There's not really much this team hasn't done, and there's not really much that this logo hasn't accomplished over the years either. I mean, let's take a look at some of the throwback logos. Just incredible, every single one. This hasn't really needed to change a whole lot over the years because it was great to begin with, and it's only gotten better. One of my favorite college football memories was witnessing Carson Wentz roll into Missoula and lose to kick off. I think it was the 2014 season. One of the craziest games I've ever seen. It was on ESPN. One of the games that, you know, just really cemented my love for this sport. So no disrespect, North Dakota State. Know that I do still hate you, but I do love that you've given me one of my all-time favorite memories of watching college football. And you've given all of America a dynasty, a team to come together and root against. Like, it's not a bad thing to be in that position. It's very powerful, actually. And so I got nothing but respect for you, North Dakota State, and the Missouri Valley Conference as a whole. Excuse me, the Missouri Valley Football Conference as a whole. Thank you so much for clicking. Thanks for hanging out. Give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and we will see you in the next one.